What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss last Saturday's UFC 330 in its entirety from top to bottom. I mean, what didn't happen? Islam defended his belt. Mackenzie Dern defended her belt. We had some upsets on the card. We had some coaches making some controversy. But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. I mean, starting from the top, Islam defends his belt. But, honestly, it is a fight where, yeah, he got the dub, but it makes me concerned for his next fight, which is probably going to be against either Michael Morales or Carlos Prates. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out because Prates got the new contract and he basically said he's next up for the shot. But then you had Michael Morales who weighed in as the backup fighter. So, I mean, you can pick and choose what you want, but honestly, I think if he fights Prates, we're going to see a similar result as we did here against Ian Gary. But if he fights Michael Morales, I think it's going to be a whole different can of worms and a whole different ball game. And I think we showed at 170, it is a closer playing field for Islam than it was at 155, where these tall, long, and lanky guys have the ability to defend his takedowns as the time goes on, as the fight goes on, right? Because first two rounds, all Islam, right? Round three, you started to see the fatigue on him. You started to see a little bit of the wear and tear and the punches on his face. Round four and five, you could give to Islam as well. I mean, five, obviously, but it was just one of those. It was just sheer control, pace, the knockdown in the second round. Ian fought well, right? You can't sit there and say Ian didn't fight good. I had a few people say robbery. I completely disagree with that statement. I thought Islam was just a step ahead of Ian in this fight. His gas tank, I think, on the striking department as the fight went on, you definitely saw who was the more polished striker, right? But the more, Khabib was not Khabib. Islam was able to take the fight where he wanted to, and now that makes it 13 in a row for him. He broke the Anderson Silva record, double champ, right? Obviously he doesn't have both belts right now, but I think you can officially put him on the Mount Rushmore, possibly of greatest of all time, right? Pound for pound. I mean, you have Mighty Mouse, you have John Jones. I mean, DC could be up there. I mean, you got Khabib, you got Islam. There's a whole lot that what you can do now, but Islam has definitely made a very serious argument. Where even though I think I think he has the better resume than Khabib, but I think if I hate to compare the two, it's like comparing both Diaz brothers, but I think that at the end of the day, I still think Khabib would be the better fighter, but Islam does now officially have the better resume, in my opinion. But big win. And as for Ian Gary, right? I mean, my God, even in defeat, this guy is just insufferably annoying. On his walkout, he was big brothering Michael Morales in the stands. He was big brothering Carlos Prates in the stands. I hate that whole huggy shit, especially in the fifth round when Ian was hugging on Islam in a fight where you're down. What are you doing? This is a fight. We are not here. Hug it out after the fight. You want I don't understand that about Ian, or I mean about a lot of these athletes these days. It just for those 15 to 25 minutes, man, there is no hugging. You hug, you touch gloves before and you hug after. That's what that's for. I just don't understand that. But I'm not the one in there. But even Islam said he didn't really understand that, and he wouldn't have kind of given the same if it was in if he was in he wouldn't have initiated that type of love right at the end of the fight. And then afterwards, Ian Gary even kind of confronted Michael Morales about talking some shit. Dude, just stop. Just stop. Just stop talking. Stop walking up to everybody saying how good they're going to be. You're only 28 years old yourself. Just shut the fuck up, dude. And now you've lost to Shavkat. Now you've lost to Islam. Now, I mean, yeah, the UFC, they love to dick ride Ian Gary, but, now we can at least say that, he's lost to two of the top guys in the division. It's going to be hard for him to get another title shot, at least within the next year and a half. I don't know why I'm being such a hater right now, but I just don't fucking like Ian Gary, man. I just don't. But yeah, big win for Islam and his team. That was fucking fantastic for them to just go out there and just get the job done. Pace, right? Just grit, heart, will, determination, absolute pace. Next up, Mackenzie Dern, right? I mean, defends her belt over Jillian Robertson, where she was just, exactly what I thought. Just physical, right? Just a step ahead physically. I mean, just strength-wise, athletically. She just, yeah, the skill level might have matched, but when it came to just size and strength, that mattered in this fight. And Jillian just could not keep Mackenzie off her. She didn't have the type of physicality to really create the same positions that Mackenzie was putting her in on the ground, right? You know, getting the sweeps and getting the reversals that she needed. But she did well to fight the submissions, right? It reminded me a lot of Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway Part 2, where, yeah, he got dominated the whole round, but you saw really good jiu-jitsu defense, submission defense, right? And as for Jillian, she showed a lot of heart. And as for the comments by Dean Thomas after the fight, you know, talking about not wanting to coach ever again, that he's not going to corner ever again, and that he thought that his own fighter, that was the top that she's ever going to reach, especially during fight week where she did nothing but praise him and put him on a pedestal, say that she's been with him since she was 15, and she only wanted to bring the belt back to him because she is the fighter that he has created. And then he turns around after the fight on live television and says that he doesn't think that she can really do it, that she doesn't have what it takes to win gold. That's rough, dude. And it doesn't matter the context. You don't say that about your fighter in a public setting. You can say that behind closed doors. You can think that all you want. But to go out there and say that, just in bad fucking taste, man. I don't know what that was for. I don't understand. Like, because you have all the job. You have all the media, right? What extra views did you need to make that point? I didn't understand that whatsoever. But I digress. And now, even afterwards, he came out and apologized for, you know, discussing about not wanting a corner. He shouldn't have said that in the moment. He stole the moment from her. I don't remember watching the full interview, but I did not want to see him discuss the fact about him apologizing about her being a world-class fighter or that she can't win gold. Sean Strickland said it himself, like he had gotten his butt kicked numerous times and still worked his way to a belt. Anything could happen in this sport. Mackenzie Dern's champion, right? That's what made this fight compelling in the first place. So yeah, Dean, shame on you, man. Shame on you. You are way better than that. You're an ambassador of the sport. I don't know what the fuck that was. Chris Curtis came out and basically said that this is, you know, typical behavior, and if you know, you know, that this is, the people in the MMA world don't fuck with Dean Thomas. I don't know. But hey, man, I don't really have much else to say on that. I mean, good for Mackenzie Dern on her victory, having her daughter there in the octagon. That was a beautiful moment. I had my girls' kids watch the fight with me, and it was just fantastic. They were asking questions. Her daughter was really into it. It was a very fun experience to sit there and watch that fight with them and to watch world-class women go out there and compete. It was a cool moment. As for Jillian, right, don't let this get to you. These comments get to you. You know, my comments get to you about Dean. Go out there and just be the best fighter that you can be, and that's all that you can really worry about. Regroup. You are championship level. You are. You can go out there and get a dub. It just wasn't your night. It's okay. Regroup. Maybe find a different camp. Definitely a different coach. I don't know about all that, but it was tough. Next up, Jalen Turner stops Kaue Fernandez. I mean, what, in 30 seconds? Just went out there and tuned him up. Made it look easy. And like I said, it depended on what Jalen Turner was going to show up in this fight. Is it the Jalen that doesn't want to hurt his opponent, or is it going to be the killer instinct Jalen Turner? And that's what we got, right? We got exactly what we wanted. And it just shows the talent level of this fucking guy. Naturally, he is so gifted. So gifted. And I can't wait to see what he does in the future. He seems like he's really rounded out his life. You know, he said about all of the distractions that he had, the partying, right? And he's kind of gotten rid of that. You know, I felt that vibe a while ago. He seemed to be distracted. And he's talked about, you know, himself also, you know, going to church, picking up the Bible, praising Jesus. That all, you know, some people just need that focus, right? And it seems like it's working for Jalen Turner. And I'm happy for him. So, man, God bless. That was a fantastic win, fantastic, flawless victory over a guy who everybody was, you know, big hype train that everybody was talking about. So, good to see Jalen back in that win column. Next up, Dustin Stoltzfus. I mean, talk about an underdog victory, a fight where I didn't see much of a chance. You know, I know he was a good guy, good grappler. I thought he could get the submission. I think he got the sub, right? It might have been a TKO on the ground. I think it was a sub. And I missed the fight itself. I did not watch the fight, but my coworker Drake, he described it in like the best way that you possibly could. Dustin fought the smartest fight that he could. Technical, he made every smart decision. He made every good transition and move. on the ground, slick, patient, technical, and was able to just kind of capitalize on the wildness and the chaotic style of Mansour Abdul Malik. And I, when he told that to me, I was like, I could not put it better myself. So Drake, thank you for that analysis on the fight. And that's something that Dustin needed. A guy who his job is been quite inconsistent, fought a lot of tough guys, but he had to go out there and show that he still has the ability to win, not only win, but to put his opponent away. Especially somebody who was 9-1 and was undefeated before. So, and as for Mansour, you gotta get to the basics. You got to get to the basics, bud. Stop with this chaos. You got to go find somebody who's going to sit there and round your game out, level it out. Peaks and valleys is not the way that you need to be going with your career at this point. We should be at the point we are starting to see you utilize your jab, the footwork, slowing the fight down, and not being the bull in the china shop all the time. And that's what's fucking you. I'd love to see you. I don't know what camp you're in. I'd love to see you out in Denver. I think that would be an amazing camp over there with Trevor Whitman. I think those guys can really help you and round out your game. Next up, Esteban Ribavex knocks out Edson Barbosa in the second round, if I'm not mistaken, to put him away in his retirement fight. I mean, the writing was on the wall with this one when Edson was walking out crying, right? Like, that's never a good sign, but what can't you say about Edson Barbosa, right? Absolute fucking legend of the sport. Has fought the who's who, ups and downs, different weight classes, success everywhere. That was, the title did elude him, but the success has not, and his name has been etched in the history of the UFC. The first spinning wheel kick, I mean, he was one of the first really decisive, explosive, acrobatic style of strikers that we had ever seen in the sport. And it's been a pleasure to watch him fight. It sucked to see him go out like that. Esteban, man, looked like, just like he couldn't lose in this fight. In his walkout, dude was so intense. It looked like he wanted to fight the cut man. The guy was putting the stuff, looked like he wanted to fight him. He could not be beat. He was so intense. He was having fun out there. You see him smiling. He was having a good time out there, and that's exactly what you want to see in your fighter. A fighter who's having success, having fun with that killer instinct. He was firing on all cylinders Saturday night. Beautiful win for Esteban Ribavex. And he said he wants somebody at top 15. Give it to him, right? He's fought some tough dudes. Give him another fun matchup, a Rafael Fiziev. That would be fucking sick. Just a good striker. It would be sick. I'm game. I'm game for it. Next up, Chidi Njokuani gets the dub over Joel Alvarez in a fight where I thought I didn't see a path to victory for Chidi. I knew he was tall, long, and lanky. Phenomenal technical Muay Thai striker, right? He can do all of that. But I thought Joel was going to really be able to go out there, change levels, get the fight to the ground, and find a submission. But in like some weird turn of events, no grappling at all. And he fought very straight up, knees straight. Wasn't threatening any sort of grappling, any sort of takedowns, which is his game. And it goes to show when he's not the weight bully, when he's not fighting somebody 30 pounds lighter than him and 3 to 6 inches shorter than him, he struggles. So now 2 in a row for Joel Alvarez at welterweight. I hate to say when fighters get exposed, but he's the definition of a weight bully right there. So to see him go out there and just get beat like this against a guy who he should have been able to break that distance. Maybe he was dealing with an injury too. Maybe a knee injury. He was fighting very straight. But I don't want to make any excuses for Chidi's win, right? I don't want to take away from that, and especially I was pretty critical on the breakdown for this fight on Chidi, thinking this was it for him, and if he would have lost, it probably would have been, but he went out there and saved his fucking job in spectacular fashion, and the gas tank didn't waver, fought well, made good decisions, good. Next up, Charles Johnson. Goes out there, gets the comeback victory over Eduardo Henrique. It was a short notice replacement fight. And, even though it was the short notice replacement, people had Henrique in this fight. And, but say what you want about Charles Johnson, you can't count him out. He's got the win over the current champion right now. He's got wins over a lot of guys. I think Luke Riley, or is it Kavanaugh? It's one of the two. I think it's Kavanaugh. But, this guy, you can't count him out. And it's usually, it takes him to have to get hit a couple times for him to kind of wake up and get back. But to see him kind of hang in there in that fight, he weathered that eye poke, and he got hit while he was down right after that. Able to stay within the fight, and once his opponent gassed out, he took complete advantage of that. It was beautiful to see. And for Charles Energy Johnson, man, for him to get that dub, as a fan of his, it's just great to see. I don't care who he's fighting, right? Like I'm always gonna go for Charles Energy Johnson. He's just a fucking fun guy to watch. He's a fun fighter, and he's just got a killer instinct, right? So great fight, absolute great fight. And as for Eduardo, right? I think it was his UFC debut. So to have that on short notice and have the success that he did early on, even though he lost, it's not really much of a loss, as it is a learning lesson. So nonetheless, phenomenal performance in defeat for Eduardo Henrique. Next up, Dante Johnson. I mean, knocks out Eric Makhachev. I mean, and holy shit. And we are seeing the evolution right in front of our eyes. I mean, he's looking more technical, less straight. You know, I mean, he was like stiff as a board. We used to call him Plank. And I think him working with Sean Strickland, and Sean has talked about it, you know, on YouTube before. I forgot where I saw it, but he was discussing the work ethic of Dante Johnson. He's getting better, and it's like he's trying and he's adapting, and he's growing right in front of all of our eyes. And he's got that natural power. I mean, he started Dana White Contender Series at heavyweight, but really he's going down to welterweight now. So it just goes to show, I mean, that power goes all the way up. Probably going to stay down. So whatever this guy's going to do, man, he's fucking dangerous. And to put out Eric Makhachev, who's tough, right? Tough guy. I thought he could have brought a really good fight to Dante Johnson in this fight. But Dante just showed he is the real fucking deal. Next up, Tresean Gore defeats Vicente Luque. It was a back and forth dog fight. You know, it was really who wanted it more. Luque looked out of shape. I don't know if he was dealing with staph infection or what, but it looked like he really just ate his way to 185 and then just made weight. It was very strange to see him so out of shape. Tresean looked good, technical. He's growing right in front of our eyes. Luque was able to use his experience to stay within the fight, but he was just a step behind, and he was taking some shots in that fight. Tresean almost finished him a couple times. Then at the end, which I was missed because I had to take the kids to their cousin's house, but I guess he knocked out Tresean's teeth. Pretty intense. You know, and Tresean talked about how he quit smoking weed and amongst other things that, you know, have helped him focus and get better out there and sharpen his skills a bit. And to go out there and beat a guy like Vicente Luque at 185 is a good victory and a good way to really just get experience, get that experience, get those 15 minutes under Gore. And for him to get his teeth knocked out too, shows that he wants it. He's not scared to get dirty, not scared to get hurt, lose a couple teeth. So good for Tresean Gore in that fight. Fantastic. Next up, Lucas Fernando. I mean, what the fuck? On fire against Rafael Tobias, where, I mean, immediately was landing good shots. And Tobias, you know, threw a couple good combinations that made you go, oh shit. But besides that, he got put into survival mode pretty quickly in that fight and struggled. But at 23 years old, this guy is already about, 17 fights into his career. When it got to the ground, you could tell he did not know what to do. But I mean, he was just a deer in headlights on the feet. But I mean, just tough as all ever. He wasn't looking for a way out, but he wasn't able to find a way back in either. So that was kind of tough for him in that fight. But I think at 23 years old, this kid's only going to fucking grow. Massive, built like a brick shit house. It seems like he's a little crazy. His coaches were telling him to go full bipolar mode in the corner, so I'm curious. Like, I can only imagine what goes on in their training rooms. But as for Lucas Fernando, a middleweight, my gosh, I mean, this kid is he's going to be a problem. He looks good, long, confident, technical, picks good shots, takes chances. All in all, good performance. So yeah, great fight. Great fight. Next up, Neil Magny. I think it was a submission or like TKO over Ramiz Brahimaj, where in the first round, right, Ramiz was able to go out there and just get really good grappling on Neil and just really control the first round. But that was kind of it, and that's the problem, right? He wasn't really able to find any damage. He wasn't really able to wilt on the gas tank of Neil Magny, and only really affected his own. And going into that second round, you saw Ramiz was tired. And Neil was fighting tall, long, sharp, and he realized he needed to get himself back into that fight, and he did by stopping it and stop Ramiz in a comeback fashion, exciting comeback fashion, showing, hey guys, I am still here. Don't write me off, right? So sorry, Neil. And that just goes to show veteran experience. When you get in those tough positions, you're getting control, you hang in there, you don't gas out too much, you don't use too much energy. Round two, if your opponent zaps himself out just trying to hold you, all right, buddy, it's my turn now, right? And that's exactly what we saw here with Neil Magny. against Ramiz Brahimaj in this fight. Great victory, great comeback victory for an elite veteran, all-time veteran in Neil Magny. Next up, last but not least, Jeremiah Wells gets, upset of the year basically over Miktabek Orlabai. What was the game plan of Orlabai? First of all, he's so naturally gifted. The grappling, he's good, strong, young, and the potential's there. But in this fight, Jeremiah Wells also did exactly what he needed to do, right? He made it a dogfight. Every time Miktabek went in to change levels and to grapple, to grab onto Wells, he threw with ill intent and was landing. He was hurting Orlabai. And I think it was the third round? Orlabai went for the takedown and he immediately just went for that it was like a Darce ninja choke. And just cinched that up so quick and put him to sleep in just absolute beautiful killer instinct fashion, not letting the moment get to him. 39 years old. Jeremiah Wells is still here. And you can't. It's exactly why I love this fucking sport. That fight right there is exactly why I love this sport. Because we don't know what's going to happen. None of us know. And that's the beautiful thing. We can say what we want about our parlays and our picks, why we do this channel. Mine isn't about the accuracy of my picks. It's about the love for the sport, the passion of the sport, passion for fights and comebacks, the unbelievable to be believable. That's why I watch this sport. I love it so much. And for this exact reason. Beautiful. This whole night was beautiful. Ups and downs. Everything. So yeah. Big loss for Orlabai. Massive aura loss for him. And as for Jeremiah Wells, hopefully you're not hurt, buddy. Stay active. Get that fight. Get whatever the fuck you can take. But to retire on that, if you can't get the good fight, not a bad move either. Not a bad move either. But guys, hey, if you guys are still watching and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It would mean the world to me. What an event, right? So let me know in the comment section what you guys think of the fights, what you guys think for next week. We got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez taking on Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. That's going to be a fun one. I'm going to be getting into that probably tomorrow or Wednesday. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.